Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.
Welcome to Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry, and today we are talking about the Mariana Trench Marine National Monument. And joining me today are two individuals very intricately involved in the monument: the chairwoman of the Friends of the Mariana Trench, Representative Sheila Babauta, and also the executive director, Laurie Peterka. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks, Kat. It's been great to be here.
Well, I think this is really going to be a wonderful opportunity for people to find out more about the monument and Friends of the Mariana Trench. Start us off with, for those that are not aware, what is the monument?
Thank you for that question. The Marianas Trench Marine National Monument is a national monument that was created by President George W. Bush by a presidential proclamation. It is a marine protected area, which means it does allow for traditional indigenous activities. It is made up of 3 units: the Islands Unit, Volcanic Unit, and the Trench Unit, and it consists of over 95,000 square miles, so it's huge.
Why was it necessary for this monument to be declared, or why did they choose to do it?
It is a conservation effort. There is a lot yet to be discovered in our vast ocean, and especially within the Marianas Trench itself. And so the need for protection, for preservation and conservation was a movement that was supported by many.
Yes, in the original proposal, there were over 6,000 people who signed a petition that supported the proposal for the creation of the conservation space.
And were most of those people from the Marianas?
To my knowledge, the majority were, yes.
Okay. Now, how does the Friends of the Mariana Trench fit into this equation?
Well, the Friends of the Marianas Trench Monument is a local 501c3 nonprofit made up of indigenous residents from the CNMI. And we are dedicated to ocean conservation and the proper management of the marine monument. I believe that it's so important that we ensure proper and accurate information is shared with our community in a timely manner. We want to encourage involvement from our community when public comment period is open. We just want to reassure members of our community and our partners and counterparts, our peers at the national level, that the community on the ground is involved. We're aware, and we want to have this seat at the table. So our mission as an organization is to inspire and influence ocean stewardship in the region by providing opportunities for the world, our community, and especially our youth to learn about ocean conservation. And we believe that the Mariana Trench Marine National Monument provides that opportunity for us.
Let's humanize the discussion a little bit and talk about what it means to us as a community here in the Marianas to have the monument when it comes to our way of life and our culture. What are some things that you feel the monument protects when it comes to how we want to live our lives here in the Marianas?
Well, monuments can mean different things to different people in different places. And under the U.S. structure, the purpose really is about protecting historic and sacred places And here in the Marianas, that is all around us. So, having this monument is essential. It's such a huge step towards showing not just our people here that we hear them, but showing indigenous communities all over the world the steps that we're taking in order to ensure that these places are protected for our children and for future generations. So we have that opportunity to exercise some of the cultural revival activities to resurrect, reconnect, and reclaim ownership. From a scientific perspective, we know more about the moon than we do about the Marianas Trench. And with the advancing technology, researchers are actively interested in our ocean. And for us here in the Marianas, it just really is such a blessing to be a part of this diverse ecosystem.
And if I can just add to what you're saying, Chairwoman, that I think that, from the scientific perspective, there's an opportunity for in expanding the education system for our local people here in the CNMI, and particularly through the Northern Marianas College, which once hosted a very beautiful and robust marine science program. And I think that there's an opportunity to take advantage of bringing something like that back into our community so that our people have a chance to experience something in the marine and ocean science area of a career choice and how to help our community to help us keep us more healthy.
You mentioned the words historic and sacred, protecting that. And then earlier you had referred to the monument having 3 zones, including islands. So does that mean that some of our islands are part of the monument? Or how does maybe you could explain it a little bit further so we can understand what exactly the monument protects?
Yeah, so the monument is really a wildlife protected area, and there's the 3 components: the islands unit, the volcanic unit, and the trench unit. And the way that that's divided up is that the trench unit and the volcanic units protect the seafloor. The water column itself is not protected. However, in the islands unit, the water column and the seafloor are both protected, but allow for traditional indigenous use. So it's called a multi-class marine protected area. It's not a no-take, which is there's like 4 classes of different kinds of marine protected areas. So this one is a multi-use area which allows for indigenous use purposes. The question I get a lot is, well, can I fish in those other places? And the answer is yes. The majority of the CNMI, the EEZ surrounding the CNMI is open to fishing, and it's regulated by the Magnuson-Stevenson's Act. So that's between the local Department of Land and Natural Resources Fish and Wildlife Office and then the U.S. correspondent agencies that help facilitate the maintenance and execution of the federal law that governs that space. As far as whether or not there is any land that's involved with the monument itself, it's only submerged lands. It's not any land above the water line. And the original focus of the proposal that the Friends original group had made was based on the constitutional amendment that was made in 2005, wherein the 3 northernmost islands were protected in perpetuity for the purpose of wildlife conservation. And so the proposal played on the idea that perhaps the conservation space should extend to the water. Does that answer your question?
It does, very technically, thank you. What are some of the activities that Friends of the Marianas Trench Monument has been involved in, or since your creation, in relation to the monument, either currently or in the past?
Well, I am so proud to be a part of this organization. It was founded in 2008. So that was almost 13 years ago. And as chairwoman, I have supported every program that Laurie, our executive director, and the team really does see fit. The Project Hope program is one of our most exciting programs that we are currently offering to the community. We just finished our 2nd semester second run at it, really. And Project Hope stands for Healthy Ocean and People Empowerment, and it is an ocean sciences program for 6th graders funded by a grant from the Administration for Native Americans. It is a collaboration effort among different members in our community, the public school system, Micronesia Islands Nature Alliance, 500 Sails, and our ocean elders, I think, play a pivotal role in educating our youth on the local indigenous practices that sometimes, go unnoticed. And we sometimes feel is undervalued in the scientific community. But our ocean elders come from different villages here on the island of Saipan. They have a long, intimate relationship with the ocean, and they have so much knowledge to offer our young people.
I do want to talk about Project Hope a little bit more in the second half of our show, but are there any other activities that the Friends are involved in? What else are you guys up to?
Yes, so recently the draft management plan for the monument was released, and we are currently in the comment period. And so thankfully, with such an amazing team, we have a handful of smaller grants that allow us to conduct outreach events and build on communications to our community regarding this draft management plan. And so we've been waiting years and years for this draft management plan to be released, and it finally has been. Now it is really up to us as a community to respond and let these federal agencies know, let them know how we can help one another implement the plan effectively, being realistic about our capacity here as a local community and being realistic about expectations and outcomes.
So where can people see a copy of the plan if they're interested in commenting on it? And when is the comment deadline?
There are a number of places that you can actually access the PDF document of the management plan. It can be found on the NOAA Fisheries website. It can be found on the National Wildlife Refuge website. And if you cannot navigate that, you can find it on our website. It's on our homepage, and you can visit our projects and program, and you can access it that way. Or you can email us, and we'll be happy to provide you a copy. We will be having a series of small opportunity workshops where if you wanted to sit down and talk about it and have us help you to write a public comment, we're available to do that. And that will be in partnership with the Marianas Alliance of Non-Governmental Organizations Resource Room. And the public comment cutoff period is July 25th.
Okay.
This month.
I'm not sure if you guys want to share this, but what are your initial thoughts on the plan?
Well, we, as a Commonwealth, receive so many plans to review. This isn't just the only federal document our community has right now to view, and we're well aware of that. So we have partnered with different organizations. There is Mango. We have different members of our community who are helping to assist with really going through this plan to ensure that there's comprehension, right?
Any federal plan usually is very complicated.
Yes.
It takes a really thorough review to understand
Right,
it.
and
Yeah.
some are thousands of pages.
Yeah.
So this draft management plan is a little over 200 pages.
Okay, it's a start.
Right. And so I think right now we are really working. We are really at that step. Laurie, did you want to
reviewing exactly what it says to see what you feel would work for us or not?
So I can comment to, operationally we've had a couple of different scientists who have taken an interest in helping us to review the document, and so we've had feedback from at least one of those individuals, and there is actually a marine science scientist that's of all places based in Oklahoma, but he's working on marine policy degree, and he recently reached out to me and asked if there was something he could be involved with, and I asked him if he would be interested in helping to take a look at this document and to provide his point of view and analysis, and he said, wow, that would be great. And so we're going to hear from him in the next week or so. And overall, my impression is that, well, like with any plan, there's strengths and weaknesses, and the Friends will develop its own comments and to help, to make those comments available to the federal government so that they can consider what we believe to be the strengths and weaknesses. Considering that the document is based on information that is over 10 years old, it's kind of hard for us to imagine that there wasn't some more recent research done in our community, but it's taken a long time to get this far, so maybe we need to work with where we're at.
And your comment raises an important point, I think, in that this scientist from Oklahoma was interested in the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument, and it's really an opportunity to shine a spotlight on the Marianas that a lot of people were probably not aware of before we became a national monument.
I think one of the things that's really significantly improved the visibility of the CNMI and the Marianas Trench have been the number of dives that have been done on the trench just in the last 4 or 5 years. Up until 2012, when James Cameron went to the trench, there hadn't been anyone who had dove the trench since 1952. And now, since 2012 until now, there have been over 12 dives on the trench from multiple countries: Russia, China, the U.S., some private, some government.
Very interesting. Well, we're chatting today about the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument and Friends of the Mariana Trench Monument. We'll be back with more after this break.
Hafaday, Olomwai, and greetings from the Northern Marianas Humanities Council. This is Executive Director Leo Pangilinan. This year, the Council celebrates our 30th anniversary, marking 3 decades of partnership with the community on a wide variety of programs that help us navigate our human experience. And we look forward to another 3 decades of doing the same. Would you consider partnering with us by making an educational tax credit donation? BGRTs and income earnings for individuals are eligible. And thank you for your continued partnership and support in making our program available.
Welcome back to your Humanities Half Hour. We're chatting today about the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument, and we're joined by the Chairwoman of Friends of the Mariana Trench Monument, Representative Sheila Babauta, and the Executive Director, Laurie Peterka. Wow, you say all of these names and titles and you run out of breath. It's a really long... Chairwoman, you were talking in the first half of the show. Do you ever get tongue-tied saying this? What am I saying?
Doing amazing.
About your recent Project Hope, bringing the kids out to learn about the monument and ocean conservation, and it just seems so exciting. What was the response of the kids? What did they enjoy most about the project? What do you think they walked away with?
Oh my goodness. Yes, the kids loved it so much. This was an amazing opportunity for our middle school students to come together, learn with their peers, have hands-on activities.
What kind of activities did they do?
Oh my goodness.
I wanted to be there when I saw it in the newspaper.
Everything from,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, they even carved open a sea urchin, and studied what was inside a sea urchin. They would learn by the ocean and in the ocean.
Learn about tides and wind and marine debris and salinity and climate change, everything. And all of it was geared towards activities versus feeling like you were sitting at a lecture.
Oh, that's how we learn, right? Is by playing, or especially kids, that's how they learn, is by playing. So
yes, exactly. And then their time with the ocean elders, it was just so meaningful, even to observe while our ocean elders shared their stories of their experiences in the ocean as children to these groups of kids, right? They could relate, they could connect, and I felt like they could really take away this valuable information that our ocean elders had to share with them. So it's just such a special time for the kids to come together, learn in many different ways, right?
What do you think they enjoyed the most? What was the reaction to being able to learn in this kind of environment?
They felt like little scientists.
They were all so different because, like, some of them, super nerdy, and they were like, "Oh, do I get to meet a real scientist?" And that was the first question out of their mouth. And then there's other ones, they're teenagers or pre-teenagers, and they're like, "Oh, I was told I had to be here, and I'm going to pretend like I'm not having fun, And of course, they're having a blast, right? And they get to learn how to swim, and they get to go on the boat with 500 sails, and there's just so many different things that they get to have access to, and I know we're really focused on the kids because that seems like the best part. But I have to agree with Sheila, seeing the faces of the ocean elders light up to be able to contribute to the whole purpose has been very emotional. Really emotional, really a beautiful thing to witness.
And I think it's so important that we teach our youth that a biologist can look like you and can come from the same place that you came from, and that there is value in our traditional practices and our traditional ways of life, and we are showcasing that through the ocean elders. And at the same time, introducing them to local biologists, marine biologists who share their knowledge about the ocean. So, children learn in many different ways, right? And so to provide a space where they can learn from one another and they can absorb all this information is just so special. And I'm so proud of Laurie and the team for really executing this program beautifully.
And we would be completely remiss to not talk about the college students. The NRM program, which is the National Resource Management Program at NMC, they have a club called NRO, and our NRO club students, we brought them in with the idea that the program is designed to teach them how to be leaders and to be able to incorporate those leadership skills in front of the sixth graders, but also in cooperation with the elders. And the other significant group of people who I think gets underplayed in all of this are the community outreach specialists, just what we refer to them as. And these are the people in your community who know about turtles and know about sea level rise and know about marine debris or know about, pick something else, all of those coral reef management. So our outreach specialists were very instrumental in helping this program become successful. They helped provide the original structure for our activity selection and subject matter, and helped teach the college students how to deliver, programs. So they're still very actively involved with us. All in all, you would be surprised, but there's probably about 35 people who are actively involved in a semester to deliver this program to the students.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that it takes an army. It's a village. It's a village teaching these group of kids. And, our original program design was to do ocean science clubs at the schools, and COVID prevented that from happening. So we had to scramble and come up with a new format so that we didn't lose our funding. And A&A approved our revised work plan and said, if you can get to those sixth grade students, go for it. And we've had a lot of support, not just from our federal partners, but from all of our local partners to help make that possible. So I also want to make sure we thank 500 Sails, and the Gumasakman has been an instrumental location for us to be able to execute this program and to provide a central location that was easy access and worked for everybody. And if it wasn't for Micronesian Islands Nature Alliance, we wouldn't have the culmination of a whole semester into 1 week of ocean camp. So we just finished our second ocean camp this the second week of June. And it was just an amazing experience. Every day, 9 to 3, getting to do activities in learning in the context of kind of in a seated situation, but then going on a field trip in the afternoon or getting in the water, all different kinds of variety of thing. And, just like summer camp every day.
It sounds like a really great opportunity for the kids to reconnect with the ocean, basically, which is such a fundamental part of our indigenous culture here. And the impetus really is the monument. What's next on the horizon for you guys? What do you have coming up?
Well, generally, our focus is on capacity building, education, and further developing ways to help our local community feel more connected to the ocean and marine science, public policy, and how to participate in these kinds of activities. For example, reviewing the monument draft management plan. So right now, we're just really working on finding the best ways to reach our community, best communication strategy when it comes to developing a comment and really delivering the management plan in a way that our community can absorb,
Can understand
yes.
federal lingo. Thank you.
Yes,
We appreciate
exactly.
that. We need people like you to break it down for us lay folks.
Yes, and we understand there's so many competing demands, being part of a tight-knit community with so many values surrounding family and their professional life, children. I'm so proud of this organization just taking the lead on ensuring our community is informed.
Well, I really want to thank you both for sharing today and for all you're doing and for giving the kids really what sounds like such a great time with Project Hope. Any final thoughts before we go?
We want everybody to get involved, so we'd like to invite you to get involved. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. First, you can visit our website, and you can take a look at the activities that we have going on there and get familiar with the kind of work that we're doing. And if there is something that appeals to you, then you can reach out to us. And I'd just like to pause here for a second and say I'd like to thank the Humanities Council for awarding us a sub-award grant of a COVID relief grant to help us to get that website organized, because we assumed that with the COVID situation that we needed to have a online platform to abide by social distancing requirements. So that was really helpful for us. Anyway, so the other thing that we've been working on is establishing our social media presence, and there is a great opportunity to watch what we're doing and follow us on social media. You can come to a workshop. We'll be hosting workshops, and you can keep an eye out for the events that will be posted either on the social media, our website, or even in the newspaper. We'll make sure that in the community section of the newspaper, for those people who are still looking at ink, that they can find us there. And if you want to dive deeper, there is a couple of immediate opportunities for internships, and you must be an NMC college student to actually participate. And those are focused on social media, membership events, and overall organizational development to help us make sure that we're making certain that age element is part of our driving force. And then we have a couple of job opportunities that are becoming available in August based on some new programs that we're developing. So I will be posting job information. And if someone wants to become a board member or a committee member, we have those positions available too.
Is there anything you're not offering?
Lunch.
I like to mention donations.
And I'll throw lunch in. And the last thing I would also mention too, and then I'll let Sheila have her turn because I'm kind of hogging it right now, but if you have a research idea, or if you have, and then when I say research idea, that might be a human dimensions research idea, or it might be a marine science research idea, but that's related to ocean and to the Friends' mission. We would invite you to share those ideas with us so we can help bring that information forward as a project that we can pursue.
Great.
I'm just really thankful. I have so much gratitude. Thank you so much for this opportunity, really, to share our story and to share our activities and what we're doing. I'm so grateful to the amazing people who started this organization in 2008. I was born and raised here on the island of Saipan, and I grew up really knowing very little about the Marianas Trench. And so I find it very important to support ocean conservation. And if that's something that you are passionate about, please reach out to us. This is an amazing organization that can help you contribute in the way that you are passionate about. And so yes, please get involved, reach out to us. We are here to stay, and we are really here to help the community.
Thank you so much. We've been chatting today with Representative Sheila Babauta. She's the chairwoman of Friends of the Marianas Trench Monument and also Executive Director of Laurie Peterka. Thank you so much, ladies, not only for our chat today, but for everything you're doing, especially Project Hope.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Catherine.
Our pleasure.
This has been your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry.
This program was supported by a We the People grant awarded to the Northern Marianas Humanities Council from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities or the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.